Hello, little man. Boy, sure heard a bunch about you. See, I was a good friend of your dad's. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell together over 5 years. Hopefully, you'll never have to experience this yourself. But when two men are in a situation like me and your dad were, for as long as we were, we take on certain responsibilities for the other. If it had been me who had not made it, Major Coolidge would be talking right now to my son, Jim. But the way it turned out is, I'm talking to you, Butch. I got something for you. This watch I got here, first purchased by your great-grandfather during the First World War. It's bought in a little general store in Knoxville, Tennessee, made by the first company to ever make wristwatches. Until then, people just carried pocket watches. It was bought by Private Doughboy Ernie Coolidge on the day he set sail for Paris. It was your great-grandfather's war watch, and he wore it every day he was in that war. When he had done his duty, he went home to your great-grandmother, took the watch off, put it in an old coffee can, and in that can it stayed until your granddad, Dane Coolidge, was called upon by his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they called it World War II. Your great-grandfather gave this watch to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as his old man's. Dane was a Marine, and he was killed, along with the other Marines, at the Battle of Wake Island. Your granddad was facing death. He knew it. None of those boys had any illusions about ever leaving that island alive. So 3 days before the Japanese took the island, your granddad asked a gunner on an Air Force transport named Wanaki, a man he had never met before in his life, to deliver to his infant son, who he'd never seen in the flesh, his gold watch. 3 days later, your granddad was dead. But Wanaki kept his word. After the war was over, he paid a visit to your grandmother, delivering to your infant father his dad's gold watch. This watch was on your daddy's wrist when he was shot down over Hanoi. He was captured, put in a Vietnamese prison camp. He knew if the gooks ever saw the watch, it'd be confiscated, taken away. The way your dad looked at it, that watch was your birthright. He'd be damned if any slopes were going to put their greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright. So he hid it in the one place he knew he could hide something. His ass. 5 long years, he wore this watch up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. He gave me the watch. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Then, after 7 years, I was sent home to my family. And now, oh man, I give the watch to you.